Happy quarantine, everyone. The ones of us that are quarantined, and for everyone that's out there working, by the way, like huge hats off to them. When you go to your grocery and you see people working and busting their ass and cleaning carts and stocking food, to our healthcare professionals, everyone out there, make sure to go out of your way to thank them. Shouldn't come down to this for us to practice that gratitude. We just kind of expect things to be in stores. You know, we get pissed when things aren't there. Now is the time to really practice that. So today I want to talk about something that's relevant and kind of share my experience in my life. And it's something that I've learned. Wayne Dyer was a speaker, author, motivational guy that taught me a whole lot. And what I'm going to really talk about today is what I learned from him about the power of our thinking in regards to our health. So, you know, right now, obviously, there's a lot of fear out there and a lot of unknowns about this virus. And it's not just Wayne Dyer. There's some other people I'll mention as well. But our thoughts are incredibly important. And I do believe that disease originates in the mind. Look at the word, dis-ease, when you're not at ease. And that breaks down to the HPA circuit, which is the hypothalamus, adrenal gland, and hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal. And it's essentially that fight or flight. Our subconscious mind, the part that keeps you breathing at night, that makes your heart beat, that is also always active, and it does not understand if you're thinking of something bad. It doesn't know if it's happening or not. And that's why it's so critical. That's why it's throughout the Bible, Phillipians 4:8, and I'll read that at some point. But think on good things. It's very critical right now. If you're thinking about, oh man, what if I get sick? What if? If you're going into fear thoughts, it's going to really limit you, and it can compromise your immune system. So I've been listening to Wayne Dyer, and he talked about how he never got sick. And you know, I used to be in the habit of saying all the time, I've been very blessed. Like, I've never had the flu. I haven't had strep or vomit bugs or any of that stuff since I was a kid. But I used to get seasonal, like, sinus infections, like twice a year, almost clockwork, spring and fall. And when I brought up my health and talked about it, I would always say I never get sick except when the seasons change, and then I'll get a sinus infection. Guess what happened? Like clockwork, I got that. And I was listening to him talk one time, and he talked about how he made the small change in his thinking and what he said, and he didn't talk about that. And it really made a difference. And I can say this, and I'm blessed. I've not been sick since 2011 or so, maybe. With the exception, I did get shingles one time, and it was 100% related to stress from work. And I was blessed because it didn't hurt and it went away quick. But our thoughts are so powerful, especially right now in these times when we're cooped up at home and worried about what's going to happen. And God, I hope you're not watching a lot of news. It's not going to feed you well right now. But I made that change, and I've said that most times when I say I don't get sick. Everybody says, oh, go knock on wood. No, I know it. I know that in my heart that I don't get sick, and I don't. So, I think our thoughts play a major role in that. And there's another book that I highly recommend by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it's called You Are the Placebo. So I've worked in healthcare and medical sales for a long time, and I've been around, and I've seen some miraculous things happen. But another thing that I've learned that is very powerful is the placebo effect. There have been clinical trials, like double-blind clinical trials, like high-level trials, to try this out. I remember one specific example from the book. He talked about arthroscopic knee surgery. I think half the patients actually got scoped. The other half had the holes. They made the holes and then inserted saline. And it was almost, I want to say, I don't remember the specifics, but the point of it is that the people that didn't even get the actual surgery repairs recovered our thoughts and our mind is so powerful and so important, especially in this time. There's so much fear out there. So really think about that. Another book that I highly recommend is by Dr. Lissa Rankin, and it's called Mind Over Medicine. We've all got extra time right now. These are 2 books that I recommend. You can get them on Kindle or whatever. I know libraries and stuff are closed, but it's just very important right now to really choose your thoughts, because that's one thing that you do have complete control over. And I do believe that dis-ease originates in the mind. And people have literally cured themselves from every disease that's out there. It's happened. Look it up. There's always going to be a case of that. And I remember being in an OR at a local hospital, and I remember hearing a family going crazy, just celebrating like you wouldn't believe. Their family member had gone in to have a surgical mass removed, and they had been praying, and the mass was gone. Like, just no explanations. Have you ever heard of this? Yes, you have. There's always miraculous healings. So let's try to stay healthy. And the most important thing you can do to stay healthy is to think good things. And I'm going to close this one reading Phillipians 4, 8, and 9. And I've studied the Bhagavad Gita, the Tao Te Ching, the Bible, the Quran. I've read them all, and these are common themes throughout these books. But I love this one, and it's one of my favorites. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. Notice it says, think on whatever is pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, praiseworthy. It doesn't say think about the coronavirus or money problems or the other things that we fill our minds with. It's so critical, and only you, only me, we're the only ones that control our thoughts. So I hope this helps. I hope everyone stays safe. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people get sick, and this is a very scary time. But it's even more the reason to do this video, to talk about this, because our thoughts do become things. If you're sitting around thinking about getting sick, worrying about it, you're greatly increasing your chance of being susceptible of catching something. So think good things today. Let's all pull together. We're going to make it through this. It's going to be a crazy ride. It already is. A lot of disappointment, but it's love that conquers. Love is always greater than fear, and love always wins. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome day. Think healthy. Think good things. It matters. And have a happy now, because you can't be happy yesterday and you can't be happy tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.